73s, mate. Thanks for the chat. Lovely to hear you again this evening, and we'll catch you later. Mike 7, Oscar Yankee Delta, Mike 0, Tango Radio Papa. 73s, Brian. Stand by, Papa Delta.
ON as well, Tony.
Yeah, QSL, Brian. All right then, mate. Well, lovely to hear you again anyway. Very nice to hear you, mate. And thanks for the call. There's a couple of stations calling there, so we'll say 73 is Brian, and we'll catch you, mate. Catch you later. Hopefully before 3 years again. Yeah, good evening, John. Just stand by one moment, John. The Papa Delta station, go ahead. I'm sorry, mate. You're right in my noise level. You're right in my noise level, I'm afraid. Just stand by. Let's see if John's got you any better. Oscar November 8, Echo India, M0TRP. Good evening, John. I think it was you.
Yes, you think 100% right. Good evening to you, Tony. M0TRP, ON80I. Nothing from Holland, Tony, over.
Yeah, QSL, John. I'm really struggling with him. He's right in my noise level. Very dramatic QSB this evening on 40 metres. There was with the Scottish station. It kept dropping right out on me, but it was 5 and 5 1 minute and 3 by 0 the next. But very good evening to you, John. I'm sorry, the Papa Delta station, you're not quite getting through the noise level, mate, I'm afraid. You're not quite getting through the noise level this evening, but do try again later. Sorry about that. Yeah, Oscar November 8, Echo India. You're getting through the noise level, John. 5 and 9 plus, mate. Very strong, over.
Yeah, Roger, on that, Tony. Well, you're 20 over with me. But no matter what your signal is, Tony, I always hear you, over.
Yeah, I've been told I've got piercing audio, John. Certainly piercing audio, mate. But you have yourself. You've got a very distinctive voice, John, and there's no getting away from it, mate. We can pick you out in a crowd, over.
Yeah, Roger, well, I've been told that before. Yeah, I don't know why it is, but I do have that piercing voice for DX. But nice to hear you, and I sent a message to Greg. He reckoned he had some sort of a tummy upset, but hopefully he'll be with us tomorrow, Tony, over.
Yeah, I did speak to him this morning, but he did have to cut it short, the show, didn't he? He did have to cut it short, mate. He does suffer a little bit, I'm afraid, Greg does, with his health. He does suffer a little bit, mate, with one or two bits and bobs and that. I don't like to pry on the radio, obviously, and I don't like to message him too much about it, to be quite honest, because I'm not being funny, mate. It's rather personal, and I don't know how much he wants to tell us. If he wants to tell us, he'll let us know, won't he, sort of thing. But I think he's told Grant. I believe he's told Grant what it is that's actually wrong with him, but I don't like prying, mate, over.
Yeah, Roger. Anyway, that can be sorted out tomorrow. But the bottom line, Tony, is he still lives, over.
Yeah, definitely, John. Yeah, there's always somebody worse off, mate, isn't there? There's always somebody worse off. I take a friend of mine to hospital, and he's having a rough time at the moment. He is severely diabetic, but he's had a toe off, and there's all sorts of little problems, and he's losing his hearing, and he's losing his sight as well, unfortunately. He's got quite a few things wrong with him. I think 90% of it is diabetes related, but it's one of them things. But same as I've told him, mate, it's still here, it's still fighting, and it's still carrying on, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, my wife suffers from it as well, but she keeps an eye at it and keeps it in check. what happens to some people, they put it to the back of their mind, and they, as they say in the song, they carry on regardless. Over.
Yeah, they do, mate. I mean, I've been diagnosed what they call pre-diabetic. I have been diagnosed pre-diabetic, so I'm trying to watch my diet and everything else. If it carries on getting worse, then obviously I'll finish up on medication as well. But I am trying to watch it, and that's the way it is. You heed these warnings, don't you? You do heed the warnings, mate, if you can. But yeah, the guy who I'm on about, like, I'm not going to say on here, but he struggles with his eyesight. He can't really test himself. He can't do his blood counts and everything else, because he can't see the meters or anything. So at the moment he's trying to get a meter, a tester that will actually talk to him. I believe there are some available, but whether he can get one on the NHS or not, I'm not too sure. But he's certainly trying, and you'd think they would. You'd think they would, mate. Every time I take him to the hospital, they say, what's your blood sugars reading today? But he don't know because he can't test himself because he can't see it, over.
Yeah, Roger, what I wonder, is there a way of, I don't know if he operates a smartphone, that he takes a photo of it and then he blows up the photo, over?
Yeah, he does operate a smartphone, mate. Yeah, he does operate one, but yeah, I think what can I say? He's rather despondent at the moment, I think, with his health, and his wife's not in the best of health neither, unfortunately. She's a very poorly lady as well, so he's just going through a rough time, mate. Hopefully they'll turn it round and sort of get back into a decent way of life and a quality of life. I'm hoping so anyway for him. He's only my age, so he's not an old man. Although saying that, I suppose I'm not a young man. I'm 69, but I still treat myself as a young man, John, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, you always sound to me like you're 55, over.
Oh, that's a blessing. That's a blessing, mate. I wish I was. I do wish I was, mate. Yeah. People that see me, I must admit, people that see me don't think I'm as old as I am. I'll put it that way. So I carry me age well, John. He's probably working in the construction industry for nearly 50 years, over.
Yeah, but well, what happens, Tony, and you know this, some people, they stop work and then they do nothing. So I don't think you're guilty of that. And here's another thing that gets you up in the morning, the Greg and Grant show, over.
Oh, yeah. I'm up well before that starts, mate, to be quite honest. But, yeah, I always look forward to it. I do look forward to chatting to them. I can't always be there all the time, but I usually manage to pop in and say a quick good morning if nothing else. But, yeah, it's nice to talk to them. It is nice to talk to the boys down there. And when they have a special guest as well, whether it's Pete or Dennis or whoever, it's always nice, or even Stewie sometimes. I know Stewie joins them sometimes, isn't he, from VK8, I think. So, yeah, it gets a little bit busy, though, when Stewie gets on. I don't think there's many people speak to VK8, over.
Yeah, Roger, yeah, and the other thing as well is hearing a VK8. He can be there, but he's a hard man to hear. Anyway, that's the situation with the Greg and Grant show. Yeah, I enjoy it. I haven't heard, and I know you mentioned it, I haven't heard anything from Italia for a while, over.
No, from Renzo. I've not heard Renzo for a while, mate. I did mention it to Greg, and neither him or Grant heard him neither. But they are supposed to be hopefully trying to get in touch. I think it's Marcello. Is it either Marcello or Lorenzo that lives in Italy? I can't remember which one it is now, but the dog's barking at me. He wants a bit of attention. He usually gets attention, John, and he lets me know when he needs it. But one of them's trying to get in touch with him, I think, anyway. So hopefully he's okay. I mean, he's no chicken. Renzo isn't, over.
Oh no, I think he's 94 or even 95, over.
Yeah, I knew he was up there, mate. I knew he was definitely up there, and he does very, very well for his age, don't he? I just hope he's okay.
Yeah, Roger on that, Tony. Okay, well, just one final thing. I don't know if you heard it, but Lorenzo from Spain, he called in as he usually does, and then he was saying to Grant and Greg about slowing down their rate of speech. Over.
Yes, I did hear it, mate. I did hear it. Grant easily gets wound up, I'm afraid, don't he? He does seem to get wound up. But I can understand it. I can understand it, mate. You know, not everybody's as eloquent in English as what we are. So, you know, I mean, if they, the thing is though that it's a difficult situation to be in, really, because sometimes with the Italians, they tend to speed up rather quickly, and I don't know if they're not quite there with all the English, but they do try and speed it up, and that makes it a little bit difficult. But you're always going to get language barriers, John. You're always going to get them, mate, I'm afraid, aren't you? It's the nature of the radio. It is the nature, mate, of the radio, so... But hey, never mind. Yeah, I think it'll probably slow down a little bit for a couple of days anyway, Grant will, but... I think he'll soon forget it, mate, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, I have to on a final point, Tony, and then you can work a few more or talk to the dog. But yeah, you have terrific audio. Your audio is really good, and as I told you earlier, even if your signal is down, I always know exactly what you're saying. So you've got a top station, Tony. Over.
Yeah, QSL, John. Thanks for that, mate. I do get plenty of compliments about the audio, I must admit. I do get plenty of compliments, mate, but I'm rather fortunate. I think I've got one of them voices as well. I've certainly got a face for radio, and I think I've got a voice for it as well, mate. It does help, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, just on a final, just I know I think you've got the and I might be wrong, the 101DX. And then, which mic are you using, Tony, over?
Yeah, I'm on a Pro 7 headset, John, by Heil, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, whatever way it's dialed up, it sounds great. Okay, Tony, thank you for picking me up. Well done that you spotted me. And I'm not sure if the Papa Delta is still there, but I'm sure someone else will give you a call. I'm going to have a spin of the dial. I might go up to 20 meters and see what's happening there. But always great hearing you. I hope to hear you tomorrow morning, over.
Yeah, I shall be there, mate. I shall be there in the morning, although it'll only be a short one tomorrow, because I do go out with the grandkids on Saturday. We all meet up for breakfast, mate, on Saturdays. So, as Grant knows and Greg, it will only be a short one, over.
Yeah, no chatterbox corner, over.
No, not for me, mate. Not tomorrow. Not unless they have a very short show, anyway. But I usually meet up with them for 9:30, so it does make it tight.
Yeah, Roger. Well, all we need for now to call in, but I don't know what he's up to. But it would be lovely if Tom, G1IZQ, called in to say good night to us. Over.
No, I'll just call in and say good night to you.
Hey, Neil, how you going on, mate?
All right, Tone. How you doing, John?
Yeah, hello, Neil. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. Been listening for a while. Yeah, you don't sound bad for a gentleman from Derby, Tone, and you don't sound too bad, John. I presume you're off and toddling for a cup of tea, mate, over?
Yeah, Roger. I'll go down and get a cup of black tea and maybe 2 Moroccan buns, over.
Yeah, QSL, mate, yeah. I'll be on in the morning having a spin round. I've had a few problems with the audio. I had a piece of equipment that was breaking down and it was quite hard to find, but I presume I've cured it now, or I can't hear anything now. It had a funny rattle in the audio, John, but I think I've cured it, mate, have I?
Yeah, sounding great. I'll put it back to you, Neil. You can go back to Tony, over.
Yeah, no problem. M0TRP 2E0 Kilo Alpha X-Ray Company.
Yeah, QSL, Neil. No problem at all, mate. Cracking signal. You're as strong as John. You're both keep touching about 15, 20 over, mate. So it looks like it could be decent conditions tonight, but looking at the scope, it's really, really busy on 40 again, over.
Yeah, 100%. I've just had a flick round. Mode signals are big. You're 25 dB over, and John's equally as strong, so I've just been down and said a quick hello to Cal, M0TRP, and caught up with Stu, G5FTU, and a couple of the others. But yeah, the band appears to be wide open. But you know what it'll be? We'll all be on top of each other soon because there won't be no room. So they'll all move in and squash your outside over.
Yeah, probably, mate. Probably. That's what it gets like, isn't it? I'll just have to wind it up a bit, mate. I could do it Grant Sanan, mate, so I could go 8k wide. But yeah, I think it's 8k wide it can go. It might be a bit more than 8k, I think. But that moves them on, mate. That does. Although it's been a bit silly, really, isn't it? If everybody had one of them, mate, it'd be even worse than ever. But hey, never mind. Okay then, John, I'll say 73 to you, mate, if you're wanting to get off, if you've not already gone. And hopefully we'll catch you in the morning, John. Oscar November 8, Echo India, Mike 0, Tango Radio, Papa in the group.
Yeah, Roger, and I hear someone else call in as well, Tony. Well, thank you very much for picking me up. We keep in touch, and hopefully I'll hear you in the morning. Mike 0, Tango Radio, Papa, Oscar November 8, Echo India. And I'll just go quickly over to Neil. We'll keep in touch, Neil, over.
Yeah, no problem, John. Look after yourself, mate. I think I saw, have you put a new antenna up before you go over?
Yes, I did. I put up a 3-element delta loop for 10, over.
What's it like? Any good?
Yeah, well, if 10 was open, I'll report back, but there hasn't been much on, over.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to stick to I was on about changing the antennas. Obviously, I was going to go hex beam, if you remember, but won't fit in the garden. So I've done some modifications to the MA5B, cleaned it up and repaired the tails, and I put some different coax on. The coax have been on 13 years, so I put some Metrium Poloni Ultraflex 10 on. What a difference, John, over.
Yeah, Roger, yeah, it's good stuff. I have it on both beams, over.
Mate, what a difference. Unbelievable. I wouldn't have thought just changing the coax and doing a few things would make that much difference, but believe me, it has. All right, John, I'll look after you in the morning anyway so we can hear you. I'll drop you a quick message on Facebook. If I hear Moz on in the morning, I've got Moz's phone number, so I'll do Grant and the boys for about 10-15 minutes, and then I'll go and find Moz. So I'll be on with Moz and Steve, John, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, it'd be nice to say hello to him, and I won't just go in for the 5 and 9 HI. So 2E0KAX ON80I. Till the next time, and hopefully tomorrow, Neil. Bye bye.
Yeah, 73 John, ON80I 20 Kilo Alpha X-ray. Run to you, Tom.
Yeah, okay out there, Neil. Thanks for that. Good night, John. We'll catch you in the morning, mate, with a bit of luck. There was a Mike 1 Tango something trying to call in. Go ahead.
Yeah, very good evening to everyone. My call sign is Mike 1 Tango Echo Sierra Mobile. Operator name is James, and just we're on our way to home. Just left work. Over.
Hey up, James. Yeah, very good morning. Oh, good morning, look at me. Good evening to you, James. Yeah, just left work. That's a late shift, mate. Especially if you started early anyway. Yeah, but name this side is Tony. And I'm in the county of Derbyshire, mate. And about 12 miles north of the city of Derby there, James. So I'm not too sure whereabouts your QTH is, to be quite honest. I didn't quite get it. I think you might have said, but I know you're down south. I can see your home QTH is Suffolk, so I'm presuming not too far from there, James, over.
Yeah, I didn't actually say where I am. I'm just on the Norfolk border. Yeah, basically South Norfolk at the moment. So we're about 15 miles south of the city of Norwich, to give you an idea where I am. And yes, it's been a late one, finished the